Good day, Sir Jeffrey Tagud. I am Rofamin Dumigera from BSed Science 1B Day. In this video, I will present to you my survey on overseas Filipino workers. I have two respondents and both are overseas Filipino workers in United Arab Emirates. In the first survey conducted, the following questions were asked to the respondents. First, how long you have stayed abroad? Second, what is your purpose of staying abroad? Third, what are your three most unforgettable experiences there? How will you describe each, good or bad? Fourth, how would you compare Philippines with United Arab Emirates in terms of population, job opportunities, social quality, and delivery of basic services? Fifth, do you want to go abroad again in the future? Why or why not? In the first question, how long you have stayed abroad? The first respondent answered 8 years, and the second respondent answered, I've been staying here for 8 years, I guess. In the second question, what is your purpose of staying abroad? The first respondent answered, to support my family and to give good future to my kids. And the second respondent answered, same as others' purpose is to work or find better opportunities which are hard to find in Philippines. In the third question, what are your three most unforgettable experiences there? How will you describe each, good or bad? The first respondent answered, it's good and bad. Both I experience. Good is when I am able to send money to my family and kids. Bad is when I'm alone and I miss them so much. The second respondent answered, first unforgettable experience was when I got my visa and ticket and was able to fly Abu Dhabi UAE via tourist visa. It was kinda hard at first, especially it was my first time in this country and I don't know about their rules and what kind of people I will meet. But as days passed by, I was able to adapt. Though I thought this country is like scary or something like cause it's Arab country, you know. They said Arabic people are scary, but later on I realized every person has his own category, bad or good no matter what's the nationality. My second unforgettable experience here was when I got the job and signed a 2-year contract. Working abroad far from my family is not easy. I came to the point that I feel so homesick. I wanna go home, like I feel so sad every time I miss an event in the family, like birthday of the family member, Christmas, New Year, or anything. But above all, I just put in my mind that I'm here. I came here because of them, to give them a better life. So behind the sadness, the good thing is I can send money to Philippines for my family. My third unforgettable experience is when I got married here last 2016 at the age of 27 years old. I got my daughter, she's 3 years old now. The sad thing is that my marriage isn't perfect. I have struggles most of the time. Well, this is what we call life. We can't get all we want. If I categorize which experience is good or bad, okay, I will tell you that the first and second is good and the third is 50% bad and 50% good. In the fourth question, how would you compare Philippines with United Arab Emirates in terms of population, job opportunities, social quality, and delivery of basic services? The first respondent answered, Dubai is a great country and people have discipline and most of the people here are Muslim. The job here pays higher salary and the school here has better facilities than in Philippines. The hospital here is free and they give free food for UAE citizen patient. The second respondent answered, most of the people here are Muslim. Their body is almost covered all by clothes. With Dubai job opportunities, obviously, Dubai or Abu Dhabi or UAE has better opportunities or shall we say better salaries than what we can get in Philippines. That is why OFWs choose to be here than staying in their own country. They sacrifice their own lives to give their families a better life. Because honestly, if you are not well educated in Philippines, You can't get a better job and discrimination is overloading. If I would have to compare the educational system here in UAE with Philippines, well, if you are an Emirati or you were born here in UAE, the tuition fees from nursery to college are all free, except to those some private schools. They are asking tuition fees. I mean, not all schools are free. Some of the students who has the very high intellectual capacity, if they are able to get a scholarship, they will be sent to London to continue their studies. They don't have to pay for anything. But if you are just a normal kid, like your parents or OFWs here, schools are not free. Though it's a little bit expensive, only those who have high position can afford to send their kids in school. That's why mostly when their kids reach the age of 3, they will send them back to Philippines. If I would compare Philippines with UAE in terms of basic services such as healthcare and transportation, well, hospitals from checkups, medicines up to admission rooms are free for UAE citizen with foods. About the transportations, there is no free for UAE nationals. Normally, UAE nationals have their own cars. If they don't have, taxis over there and buses are there to transport you wherever you want to go for 1 dirhams to 5 dirhams, which is 10 to 50 pesos in Philippines money. Well, mostly, working Filipinos or any nationals who's working in a company in UAE, they have their own transportation services paid by their company as well as their housing. While for healthcare, their company also provides health insurance which will give them discount for the hospital fees, medicines, or any hospital bills. In Philippines, it is different. In the fifth question, do you still want to go abroad again in the future? Why or why not? The first respondent answered, yes, definitely I want to go back because as I said, I need to support my kids and family, good earning and great income here. And the second respondent answered, yes, but I will not choose UAE anymore. I would rather choose another countries like Canada, Japan, Taiwan, or etc. for a change. In the second survey conducted, how different homes are supported by migrant or immigrant workers are determined. So, the respondents are asked, how do you support your family in the Philippines? In the question, how do you support your family in the Philippines? The first respondent answered, I give money to my family for them to buy foods and daily needs. And the second respondent answered, 50% sa ako ang sweldo kay akong gipadala sa Pinas para palit sa ilang mga kinahanglanon hilabi na pangbayad sa eskwelahan sa mga bata. Next will be the pictures showing how the family members in the Philippines of the respondents that they support dress. This is the picture of the family members of the first respondent, and this is the pictures of the family members of the second respondent. The way the family members supported by both respondents dress are neat. Next will be the house of the respondents in the Philippines. This is the house of the first respondent in the Philippines, and this is the house of the second respondent in the Philippines. The house of both respondents are built out of cement and concrete. Both respondents are neighbors. So next will be the neighbors' houses of the respondents. Both respondents' neighbors' house are mostly built either out of woods, amakan, and cement. Next will be the vehicle owned by the respondents. This is the motorcycle owned by the first respondent, and this is the motorcycle owned by the second respondent. That's all, Sir Jeffrey Tagud. Thank you for listening and have a good day.